Met a little shorty named Nikki, I guess you could say she was a sex freak. Met her in Atlanta hotel downtown off 85 and Peace Street. She say she did a little bit of modeling as she opened the Vogue magazine. And what I seen is what I saw, is what I saw. With my eyes had to make this girl my queen. I met this chick, her name is Portia. If you real, her engine, baby girl is gonna scorch. I met this freak, her name is Keto, the deep throat eater, called the Keto.
You talk about generation curses, you know, and I knew that, you know, it was real at a young age, you know what I'm saying? Being in the church on my father's side of the family, you know, that was read to me about breaking the generation curses and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about what happened between my little brother, you know what I'm saying? What happened between my brother and my partner, when you take the two families and you go back generations and see what their history was, then you'll see that it was something that had already happened between the two families. You know what I'm saying? And it just reinvented itself 25 years later because the curse wasn't broken. You know what I'm saying? And like it takes us to break the curse. You know what I'm saying? If our grandparents didn't break it, if our parents didn't break it, it takes us to take the steps to break the curse ourselves. And you have to have your mind open to even know what's going on within your life, within your family, and things of that nature, to even know that you have something like that, that's this cloud that's over the family's head. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're not aware of life, you wouldn't even be aware of things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? I think about the family curse type scenario. You know, some people don't believe in curses at all. I can change that word and still bring to you the same issue that's at hand. You know what I'm saying? I can change that word to like just what happened years ago, when before you was born. Here it is, 30, 40 years later, a similar incident done happened again. It just happened a different type of way, but same incident where somebody was shot. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the curse have to be broken, man. You know, that's the biggest thing. Growing up, on my mother's side of the family, my grandmother was raised by her grandmother, and the way that they showed her that they loved her is by gifts. You know what I'm saying? Actions, and and mostly gifts, like financially. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, they never said out their mouth, "I love you." To my grandmother, she wasn't taught that. It was in practice. So therefore, when she had her 8 kids, she didn't tell them that. It wasn't practice. It was just like normal life, not saying that to your kids. So when my mother and her siblings came about, us in College Park, while we all like there hanging and having fun growing up, our parents never told us that. You know what I'm saying? It was me that one day I said it to my grandmother, and the way that she responded, I continued saying it for the next 20 years to right now, to this day. My family, 80-90% of them say it now to each other, to their kids, and that curse was broken. That's what I mean by it, because I did that. I broke that curse of a person not expressing themselves to people that you should. The same thing on my father's side of the family. You know what I'm saying? When you look back at my brother, he been dead for 20 years. 20 years. When you look back at my family and then the family of the guy who killed my brother, when you go back to before my brother was even born and you look at the histories of both families, this is what you have. This is what you have. You have the guy who killed my brother, his uncle. His uncle meaning his mother's brother, older brother, or however. And you get the uncle of the murderer, and then you get me and my brother, my sister, them, our father. So now you put them in a time lock together, meaning back in their days, back in the 70s or whatever, up in College Park projects. Now, when you go back in time and you go to that corner where they right there, shooting the jive, rolling the joint, drinking a little liquor, doing what, ninjas did back in the day. Well, just like back in the day, just like right now, these two individuals get into a confrontation. It was verbal at first, you know how it starts off. Say things you don't like, now you got an argument, and now here you go, and now they at each other. What happens next? My dad ups the iron. Pow! Shoot him. In the leg, in the hip. However, I know that he's crippled right now. I know that he had another incident, he was hit again before, too, so I don't know if it was from that gunshot or my father gunshot who made him crippled. Like, you know what I'm saying, with a walk now, however. Maybe my daddy bullet ricocheted off the other guy's bullet. But however, though, point to the story, though, there you have it. You have two families, 30, 40 years prior to us, probably me too, being born. And when you have a situation like what have happened, meaning my dad shot his uncle. And 25, 30 years pass, there's no confrontation between the two families. It's nothing but love and just growing up. And then 25, well, I say 30, 25, 30 years later, like 30 years later, it happens again between the two families, the nephew and the son. And the nephew of the opposite guy, who was on the bad end of the stick, kills the guy who shot his uncle's son. It's real talk, man. It's those curses that you have to break, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to know, what happened, what your parents did, grandparents did, what they was into, because they will leave these seeds, not knowing too at times, and us unaware. They'll leave these seeds for us to bear. You know what I'm saying? And that was an incident that, probably could have been controlled, probably couldn't have been. No different than my brother's incident. Probably could have been controlled, probably couldn't have. But at the end of the day, you have a cycle of violence between the two families. It's real talk, man. My daddy bust them first. Hey, there you have it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great episode of Underground Source TV with your host, TV and film producer. Trees Knox got to come out. Trees Knox, man. OG Black Bart3700, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out that New Orleans Exposed now on Tubi, Amazon Prime. Right here, you can see some of the clips right here on YouTube, man. And y'all make sure y'all check out my playlist. Like I say, the album is coming out. The album is coming out October 31st at noon on all platforms. Welcome to the Pumpkin Patch, man. It is going down, man. Y'all make sure y'all log in and get into my memberships, man. It's going down. It's going down. Y'all can book me now. Y'all want me to come out to y'all events, man? Holler at me, man. Y'all inbox me or something, man. It's going down. OG Black Bart3700. College Paul. Stand up.
Her name is Siobhan. She can fuck all night, but this bitch never come. I had this freak by the name of Mandy. At 3 a.m. I was serving her candy. I had this freak, we'll call her a beaker. A real solid freak, call her daddy's a preacher. Every other Sunday I get a text, can I picture? I ate her ass tied out while the church smelled like reefer. I had this freak by the name of Beanie. Now we were best friends, but Beanie was fiending. So I gave Beanie that motherfucking winning. Her pussy started singing and Beanie started screaming. I had this freak by the name of Tina. Boston, Massachusetts, couldn't get no greener. Now when I fucked Tina got meaner. The bitch marinated like coffee and cream. I met this girl named Nikki, I guess you